Most people don't think twice when they see a cockroach. The reaction is almost automatic. Disgust, unease, that sudden cold feeling telling you something unclean has entered your space. To us, the American cockroach feels like a mistake in the modern world, a filthy shadow hiding beneath kitchen sinks, behind walls, and inside the dark, forgotten corners of human life. An intruder, a problem waiting to be exterminated. But the deeper scientists study this insect, the stranger the contradiction becomes. Because while humans see a primitive pest, nature sees one of the most successful survivors ever created. Long before cities existed, before roads, electricity, or even human civilization itself, the ancestors of the American cockroach were already moving through ancient forests on a completely different Earth. And somehow, after hundreds of millions of years of climate shifts, mass extinctions, and collapsing ecosystems, they are still here, not in distant jungles, not hidden on isolated islands, but living quietly beside us, inside apartment walls, beneath subway tunnels, under restaurant floors, within the warm, hidden spaces of the very cities we believe belong entirely to humans. Entomologists who study cockroaches often describe them as extraordinarily adaptive organisms, capable of sensing vibrations, detecting airflow changes, surviving extreme conditions, and adjusting to human environments with unsettling efficiency. And perhaps that is the part many people find most disturbing. The American cockroach does not survive through strength. She survives through patience, through silence, through invisibility. So this raises an uncomfortable question. If a creature this ancient has adapted to human civilization so perfectly, how much of your world has she already learned to share without you ever noticing? The insect most people call the American cockroach belongs to a group known as Blattodea, an ancient order of insects that has survived on Earth for hundreds of millions of years. And despite the name American, entomologists believe this species likely originated in tropical regions of Africa before spreading across the world through ships, trade routes, and eventually human cities themselves. Today, the American cockroach exists almost everywhere human civilization creates warmth, moisture, and darkness. From subway tunnels beneath New York, to apartment basements in Europe, to restaurant kitchens, drainage systems, boiler rooms, and hidden spaces behind walls. She has learned how to turn the modern world into a perfect habitat. And perhaps that is what makes this insect feel so unsettling. Because unlike wild predators living far away in forests or deserts, the American cockroach survives beside us, quietly. Most people imagine cockroaches as chaotic scavengers crawling randomly through filth. But the reality is far more disturbing and strangely more intelligent than that. The American cockroach is not mindless. She is cautious, extremely sensitive to movement, capable of detecting tiny vibrations and changes in airflow long before humans notice anything at all. Researchers studying cockroach behavior have found that their nervous systems react with astonishing speed, allowing them to escape danger in fractions of a second. And that survival instinct shapes everything about her existence. She hides during the day. She waits for silence. She moves when the lights disappear, not because she enjoys darkness, but because darkness protects her. So while humans sleep believing the city has finally become quiet, another world begins to wake beneath the floors, inside the walls, and underneath the streets around us. A hidden civilization built entirely on patience, adaptation, and survival. So what exactly allows the American cockroach to survive so successfully in a world constantly trying to destroy her? The answer is not brute force. And strangely enough, it is not aggression either. It is adaptation. Unlike predators that dominate through speed or violence, this ancient urban survivor relies on caution, sensitivity, and timing. She moves through the hidden architecture of human civilization with astonishing precision, slipping beneath floors, behind walls, through drainage systems, and inside the warm, hollow spaces people rarely think about. And the moment danger appears, she vanishes. Entomologists studying cockroach behavior discovered that tiny sensory hairs covering the insect's body can detect subtle changes in airflow and vibration almost instantly. Even the movement of a human hand or the sudden shift of air caused by opening a door can trigger an escape response in fractions of a second. That is why nighttime encounters feel so unsettling. You walk into the kitchen, The female American cockroach produces a hardened egg capsule known as an ootheca, a sealed biological chamber carrying multiple developing young inside. At first glance, it resembles a rough brown seed or a compressed fragment of bark hidden beside cracks, pipes, machinery, or forgotten corners of a room. Most people never notice it. But inside that sealed structure, an entire generation is already developing. Silent, compressed, alive. And when conditions become warm enough, pale juvenile roaches known as nymphs emerge already equipped with the instincts needed to hide and survive almost immediately after birth. No parents guide them. No colony protects them. Only instinct. And perhaps that instinct explains why this species has survived for hundreds of millions of years while countless other organisms disappeared forever. Because the American cockroach possesses abilities that feel almost unnatural for such a fragile-looking insect. She can survive for weeks without food. She can tolerate extreme environmental stress. She can flatten her body into impossibly narrow cracks. And perhaps most disturbingly of all, she can continue living for days even after losing her head. Let that settle for a moment. Not because the insect is immortal, but because her biology operates very differently from ours. Cockroaches breathe through tiny spiracles along the sides of their bodies and rely on decentralized nervous systems, allowing basic survival functions to continue even after catastrophic injury. And the deeper scientists study these resilient insects, the more complicated their role becomes. Because outside human homes and city infrastructure, wild cockroach species still play an important ecological role. They help decompose decaying organic matter, recycle nutrients back into ecosystems, and provide food for birds, reptiles, amphibians, and countless other animals. No ecosystem remains balanced without decomposers. No forest survives without organisms quietly transforming death back into life. And perhaps that is the most uncomfortable realization of all. The creature humans often describe as a filthy invader may simply be one of nature's oldest survivors adapting perfectly to the world we built around her. So the next time you walk into a quiet kitchen late at night, notice a strange movement near a drain or catch a dark shape disappearing beneath an appliance. You may want to stop for a moment and look a little closer. Because American cockroaches are often living far nearer to us than most people realize. They prefer places filled with warmth, moisture, darkness, and tiny traces of food, which is why they are commonly found beneath sinks, behind refrigerators, inside wall voids, around water heaters, drainage systems, basements, boiler rooms, and hidden corners of aging buildings. But unlike noisy pests that openly reveal their presence, these insects leave behind silence, and their existence is usually discovered through subtle signs. A sudden musty odor hidden inside a room, tiny dark droppings scattered near cabinets or pipes, thin shed skins left behind in forgotten corners, or sometimes a strange brown capsule quietly attached near cracks, furniture, or warm machinery. That structure is called an ootheca, the cockroach egg case. At first glance, it may look like a dried seed, a compressed fragment of bark, or a rough piece of debris stuck against the surface. But inside that sealed chamber, an entire generation may already be developing silently beyond human awareness. And this raises an uncomfortable question. How can you tell whether a nesting area is still active or already abandoned? An active infestation often leaves behind fresh droppings, recently shed skins, live nymphs, moisture activity, and strong odor buildup near hidden spaces. Warm areas around appliances, drains, and wall cavities may continue showing signs of movement long after the room itself appears completely quiet. But abandoned nesting areas feel different. The egg cases appear dry and empty. The droppings become dusty. The odor fades. No fresh shed skins appear anymore. An empty shelter. A silent archive of life that has already moved elsewhere inside the building. And perhaps that is the strangest realization of all. While we move through our daily routines believing our homes are clean, quiet, and fully under our control, entire hidden ecosystems of survival, adaptation, and nocturnal activity may already be unfolding silently around us every single night. So now I want to ask you something. After learning the true nature of the American cockroach, do you still see this insect the same way? Do you think these ancient survivors genuinely affect human life more than most people realize? And if one were already hiding somewhere inside your home right now, would you even notice the signs? Let me know what you think down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey into the hidden world beneath our cities and homes, don't forget to subscribe for more cinematic wildlife stories. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.